The first sign something was wrong came when my mother's annual Christmas Eve text didn't arrive. I'm Daisy, and for 31 years, that text had been as reliable as December snow in Manhattan, a detailed itinerary of family traditions wrapped in passive aggressive commentary about my work schedule. I stared at my phone, wine glass in hand, as the clock struck 9 p.m. in my Upper East Side apartment. The Christmas tree lights cast shadows on my designer couch, the one Brian had called aggressively minimalist before he left. They probably assume I'm working late again, I muttered, though the lawyer in me knew better. We always gathered at the family cabin in Vermont. Always. I took another sip of Cabernet and opened Instagram, my finger hovering over Hallie's profile. My sister's social media presence was usually a carefully curated mix of inspirational quotes and charity galas. Tonight, though, her story stopped my heart. There they were, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, all gathered around the cabin's stone fireplace, matching sweaters, twinkling lights, perfectly arranged hot chocolate mugs with those damn marshmallow snowmen Hallie always insisted on making. I wasn't in any of the photos. What the hell? I whispered, scrolling faster now. My hands shook as I took in image after image. The family dinner table, set for exactly the right number of people, minus one. Group shots by the Christmas tree, candid moments of laughter in the kitchen. Then I saw it. My wine glass slipped from my fingers, shattering against the hardwood floor. The caption burned into my retinas. Finding love where you least expect it. Blessed Christmas miracle. There was my sister, wrapped in the arms of my ex-fiancé, Brian, both of them wearing those ridiculous matching sweaters. His lips pressed against her temple, her diamond ring, my diamond ring, catching the firelight. My phone buzzed. A text from Piper. "Are you seeing this?" I called her immediately. She answered on the first ring. "Tell me I'm hallucinating," I said, my voice eerily calm. "I wish I could." Piper paused. "How long has this been going on?" "You mean, how long has my sister been dating the man who broke off our engagement 2 months ago?" "The man who said my career made me too cold?" The words tasted like acid. "Great question. Let me check their relationship timeline." I scrolled back through Hallie's feed, noting dates, connecting dots, the casual group photos where Brian lingered in the background, the girls' nights Hallie had mentioned when I was working late at the firm, the sudden interest she'd taken in investment banking terminology during our last family dinner before I stopped being invited to those too. "Daisy?" Piper's voice softened. "Do you think that they were seeing each other while Brian and I were still together?" I laughed, but it sounded wrong even to my ears. "You mean, did my baby sister, the one whose law school application I helped write, whose nonprofit job I helped secure, steal my fiance?" My phone pinged with another Instagram notification. Hallie had posted again, a close up of their intertwined hands, my old engagement ring prominently displayed. The caption read, "Sometimes the best gifts come wrapped in unexpected packages." "I'm coming over," Piper declared. "No." I stood up, carefully stepping over the broken glass and spilled wine. "I need to think." "Daisy, don't do anything." "Rash?" I walked to my home office, pulling out a key I'd kept hidden in my desk drawer. "Don't worry, I'm a corporate attorney. We don't do rash." I unlocked the bottom drawer and pulled out a thick manila folder labeled Confidential H. Fox, Scholarship Appeal. Inside were documents I'd helped bury 6 years ago, the kind that could unravel a carefully constructed public image. "You're right," I told Piper, running my finger along the folder's edge. "I'm not going to do anything rash. I'm going to be very, very careful." My phone buzzed again. Mom, finally remembering I existed. I declined the call and looked out at the snow falling over Manhattan. They thought they could just write me out of the family story, that I'd stay silent, like always. They had no idea what I was capable of. "Your ambition makes us incompatible." Brian's words echoed in my head as I paced Piper's living room the next morning. That's what he said when he ended it. My ambition, not the fact he was sleeping with my sister. Piper handed me a coffee, extra strong. "When did you first suspect?" I didn't. I sank into her couch. I was too busy being the perfect daughter, the supportive sister, the understanding fiancé. God, I'm such an idiot. You're not an idiot. You're working late again, Daisy. I mimicked my mother's voice. Hallie needs you at her charity gala. Hallie needs help with her scholarship application. Hallie needs a reference for her nonprofit job. My phone buzzed. Another missed call from Mom. You know what's funny? I pulled out my laptop. I actually have the email where Hallie asked me to help her appeal her academic suspension. Want to hear it? Piper sat beside me as I read. Dearest sister, I know you're busy saving the world, but I really need your help. They're saying my grades don't qualify for the scholarship renewal, but you know how to fix things like this, right? And you fixed it, Piper said quietly. I did more than fix it. I rewrote her entire application. I called in favors. I even donated to the alumni fund to grease the wheels. I laughed bitterly. All while she was probably meeting Brian for coffee, telling him how cold and career obsessed I was. My phone lit up with a text from Dad. Your mother's worried. Call us. I turned the phone face down. You know what the worst part is? I kept every email, every document, every little favor. Not because I thought I'd need them, but because I was proud of helping her. Daisy, Piper hesitated. What are you planning? I opened the manila folder I'd brought with me. Remember Jesus Anderson, the charismatic nonprofit director who hired Hallie? The one who's always quoted in those feel good articles about young philanthropists? That's him. He hired Hallie because of her impressive academic record and commitment to ethical leadership. I pulled out a stack of papers. Want to guess how many of those credentials are actually real? Piper's eyes widened as she scanned the documents. These scholarship applications, they're all fraudulent. Every single one. And the grant allocations she's been managing. Let's just say the numbers don't add up. You're going to report her? Not me. I smiled. Remember Natalia from HR? She's been looking for a reason to investigate their rising star. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Brian. We need to talk. I showed Piper the message. 3 years together, and he ends it over dinner at Per Se. Tells me I'm too focused on my career, too cold, too unavailable. Meanwhile, my sweet baby sister's posting their Christmas photos like some Hallmark movie. What about your parents? They had to know. Oh, they knew. I pulled up Mom's social media, where she'd commented heart emojis on every single photo. They probably thought it was perfect. Hallie finally landing the successful man, while workaholic Daisy focuses on her career. Piper touched my arm. Are you sure you want to do this? Once you start, they're already talking about me, Piper. Probably sitting around that fireplace right now, telling themselves I'm too busy for family anyway, that I wouldn't have appreciated their perfect Christmas. I opened my email and started composing a message to Natalia Palmer. You don't have to send that right now, Piper said softly. Actually, I do. I attached the first batch of documents because in about an hour, Brian's going to call again. He's going to try to explain, to make himself the victim. And Hallie's going to post another photo, probably about haters and staying positive. I hit send. And Mom? Piper asked. Mom's going to keep calling until I answer, then tell me how disappointed she is that I'm not being supportive of Hallie's happiness. I closed my laptop. But for once, I'm not going to make things easier for them. I'm not going to fix this. My phone lit up with a new Instagram notification. Hallie had posted again. Some people will never understand true love. Their loss. I showed Piper the post and smiled. No, dear sister, some people understand exactly what's happening, and they're done being silent about it. Are you absolutely certain about these numbers? Piper whispered as we huddled in the law firm's archive room. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead, casting harsh shadows on the stacks of boxes surrounding us. Look at the date stamps. I spread out the grant allocation papers on the dusty table. Hallie submitted these reports quarterly, each one showing perfect distribution of funds. Too perfect, Piper muttered, comparing documents. Exactly. No administrative costs, no overhead. Every dollar allegedly went straight to the cause. I pointed to a highlighted section. But here's where she slipped up. The dates don't match the bank transfers. My phone vibrated. Another missed call from Mom, 36 and counting. What about this? Piper held up a scholarship document. She claimed first generation college student status. Well, our father has 2 degrees. I smiled grimly. It's amazing what people will believe when you present yourself as the perfect humanitarian. The archive room door creaked open. We both jumped. Ladies? It was Marcus, the night security guard. Everything okay down here? Just some late night research, I called back, keeping my voice casual. You know how it is during the holidays. After he left, Piper turned to me. How are you planning to submit all this? I pulled out my laptop. Anonymous tip to the board of directors, CC'd to Natalia in HR. I started typing. Subject line urgent, financial discrepancies and credential concerns. They'll trace the IP address. Not from this. I held up a burner laptop I'd purchased with cash, and I'm using the coffee shop's Wi Fi down the street. My phone lit up with a text from Brian. This silent treatment is childish, Daisy. We need to talk about this like adults. Piper read it over my shoulder. The audacity. He always did like to play the mature one. I returned to typing. Remember when he said my 60-hour work week showed a lack of work life balance? Meanwhile, he was mentoring my sister over late night drinks. The email took shape quickly professional, detailed, devastating. I attached PDFs of the doctored scholarship applications, the mismatched grant reports, and screenshots of social media posts where Hallie bragged about her humanitarian achievements. Send it, Piper said quietly. I hit send, then opened a second email addressed to Hallie's University Ethics Committee. You're not done? Piper asked. Not even close. I attached the academic fraud evidence. Remember when she needed an emergency appeal for her scholarship? Guess who wrote the letter claiming our grandmother was dying? Your grandmother who passed away 10 years earlier? The very same. I hit send again. Hallie always said I was good with words. My phone buzzed with an Instagram notification. Hallie had posted a quote. Success makes enemies, stay strong and trust your journey. She has no idea, does she? Piper mused. None. I started packing up the documents. She thinks she's untouchable. The golden child who turned my ex fiance's head and got away with it. We left the archive room, riding the elevator up to our floor. As we stepped out, my phone pinged with a LinkedIn notification. What is it? Piper asked, noting my expression. I showed her the screen. Natalia Palmer has viewed your profile. That was fast. She's thorough. It's why I chose her. I sat at my desk, pulling up Hallie's most recent nonprofit newsletter. By tomorrow, she'll have questions about every grant, every donor, every decimal point. And Brian? I opened one final email. Remember that conversation we had at the firm's Christmas party last year when he was drunk and bragging about some insider trading tips he'd given to friends? The ones you warned him about? I took notes. I attached a detailed account of the conversation. His firm's compliance department might find them interesting. My phone lit up again. Dad this time. Your mother's beside herself. Please call. I turned to Piper. Want to grab dinner? I have a feeling my family's going to be too busy for meals together for a while. You're scary sometimes, you know that? No, I corrected her, sending the final email. I'm just done being the family fixer. Let them fix this mess themselves. As we gathered our coats, my email pinged one last time. The subject line made me smile. Emergency board meeting notice. Attendance mandatory. It begins, I murmured, turning off my office lights. The dominoes were falling, and for once I wasn't rushing to catch them. Hallie's Instagram story popped up first thing in the morning. Jealousy is a disease. Get well soon. I sipped my coffee, watching her social media meltdown unfold in real time. 3 more cryptic posts followed within the hour, each more defensive than the last. My phone rang. Mom's name flashed on the screen. After 4 days of ignoring her calls, I decided to answer. Darling, her voice dripped with artificial sweetness. I've been so worried. Have you? I kept my tone neutral. I assumed everyone was too busy with the holiday celebrations to notice. Oh, don't be dramatic. We thought you'd be working as usual. A pause. Have you spoken to your sister lately? Which sister? The one dating my ex-fiancé? Or do I have another one I don't know about? Mom's sharp intake of breath crackled through the phone. Daisy, you're being unfair. These things happen. Brian and Hallie, they have a special connection. Special enough to start while he was still engaged to me? That's not. She stopped abruptly. Actually, I called because Hallie's having some trouble at work. I thought maybe you could help. I almost laughed. Really? The golden child needs help? Don't be petty. She's your sister. Was she my sister when she was sleeping with my fiance? The line went quiet. Then, I'm disappointed in you, Daisy. This isn't like you. No, I agreed. It's not. After hanging up, I opened my laptop to find an email from Piper. Brian's firm just announced an internal audit. Coincidence? My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Brian, whatever you're doing, stop it. Now, I blocked his number and opened Instagram again. Hallie had posted a tearful video. Sometimes people try to tear you down because they can't stand seeing you happy. But love wins. Always. Staying strong. Truth will prevail. The comments were less supportive than usual. Didn't you start dating your sister's ex like right after they broke up? Wait, weren't you the nonprofit's poster child for integrity? Someone said there's an investigation? My office phone rang. It was Piper. You need to see this, she said without greeting. Check your email. I opened the link she sent. It was an internal memo from Brian's investment firm. Temporary suspension pending investigation of potential securities violations. They're moving fast, I noted. That's not all. Natalia just posted on LinkedIn about maintaining ethical standards in nonprofit leadership, tagged Hallie's organization. Right on cue, my phone lit up with a notification. Emergency executive board meeting. All senior staff required to attend. How long until they connect the dots? Piper asked. They won't. I used a burner email, public Wi Fi, and I trailed off as another Instagram notification appeared. Hallie had posted again, this time with Brian. When people try to destroy your happiness, hold on tighter to what matters. Love you, baby. The photo showed them at what looked like an expensive restaurant. Brian's arm was around her shoulder, but his smile looked strained. The comments were brutal. Isn't this your sister's ex fiancé? Girl, karma's coming. Heard you're under investigation. My phone buzzed with a text from Dad. Your mother's upset. What's going on with Hallie's job? I typed back, Ask Hallie. Another notification popped up, an email from Hallie's University Ethics Committee, request for additional documentation regarding academic records. Piper called again. Daisy, Jesus Anderson just posted about maintaining transparency in charitable organizations. This is getting big. I opened my office window, letting in the cold winter air. Good. Are you sure you want to take it this far? I thought about Christmas Eve, about the family photos without me, about Brian's arms around my sister while my mother smiled approvingly. They made their choices, I said quietly. Now they get to live with the consequences. My phone pinged one final time. A group text from extended family. Is everything okay with Hallie? Hearing some concerning things. I closed all the apps and turned back to my work. The dominoes were falling faster now, and I had front row seats to the show. Let them scramble, let them panic, let them finally understand what it feels like to lose control of their carefully crafted narrative. The emergency board meeting was scheduled for tomorrow. I wondered if Hallie would wear her designer blazer or go for something more humble. Either way, she was about to learn that some things even her big sister couldn't fix. My phone exploded with notifications during the board meeting. Aunt Sarah, What's happening with Hallie? Cousin Rachel. OMG, did you see the news? Uncle Mike, your sister needs you right now. I declined them all, watching the time tick by. The board meeting had started at 2 p.m. It was now 4:30. Piper burst into my office without knocking. They suspended her. I looked up from my desk. Already? Pending investigation. But that's not all. She closed the door behind her. Brian's been placed on administrative leave. Something about irregular trading patterns? My phone buzzed again. Mom's face appeared on the screen for the 20th time today. I declined the call. Remember when I was 12? I asked Piper. Mom maxed out her credit cards, buying Hallie dance lessons and designer clothes. I gave her my college savings to pay it off. What did she say? She told everyone I was showing off by trying to fix the family's problems. I smiled without humor. Funny how that works. Piper sat down across from me. Daisy, there's something else. The university. They're considering revoking Hallie's degree. A memory flashed. Hallie in her graduation gown, Mom crying about her baby's accomplishments, while I stood in the background knowing exactly how many strings I'd pulled to make that moment happen. My office phone rang. It was Natalia from HR. Daisy? Her voice was carefully professional. I hope I'm not interrupting. Not at all. What can I help you with? We received some concerning documentation about your sister's grant allocations. Given your firm's previous legal work with our organization, I wondered if you might have any insight. I'm afraid I can't discuss anything related to my sister's employment. I replied smoothly. Professional ethics, you understand. After hanging up, I checked Instagram. Hallie had posted a lengthy video, mascara running down her cheeks. To everyone spreading lies about me and trying to destroy what Brian and I have, karma will find you. The truth always comes out. She has no idea it's you, does she? Piper asked. No one does. They're all too busy looking for enemies outside the family. My phone lit up with a text from Brian. Your sister's career is falling apart. Happy now? We need to talk. I showed Piper the message. He's using a different number. Are you going to respond? No need. I pulled up his firm's stock price. It had dropped 3% since the investigation announcement. He's got bigger problems now. A sharp knock at my door made us both jump. Through the glass, I saw my mother standing there, her hair mess scarf slightly askew. How did she get past security? Piper whispered. Probably talked her way in. It's what she does. I stood up. You should go. Piper squeezed my arm before leaving, nodding stiffly at my mother as she passed. Mom burst in the moment Piper left. What have you done? I haven't done anything, I replied calmly. Please, sit down. Don't give me that lawyer tone. She paced my office. Your sister is devastated. The board is questioning everything. Brian's firm, it's all falling apart. Sounds stressful. Daisy! She slammed her hands on my desk. Say, fix this. The command was so familiar. Fix this. Help your sister. Be reasonable. Don't make waves. For a moment, I was tempted to reach for that manila folder, to make it all go away like I always had. Instead, I said, no. What? I said no. I met her eyes. I'm not fixing anything. But you're her sister? Was she my sister when she was sleeping with my fiancé? Were you my mother when you helped hide it? The color drained from her face. How did you? No, please. I laughed softly. I'm a corporate lawyer, Mom. Finding evidence is what I do. You're tearing this family apart. No, I corrected her, standing up. I'm just exposing what was already broken. She stared at me like she'd never seen me before. Maybe she hadn't. We're done here, I said, opening my office door. I have work to do. As she left, my phone pinged one final time. A news alert. Rising nonprofit star under investigation for financial irregularities. I closed my laptop and gathered my things. The show was just beginning, and I had front row seats to watch it all burn. Your sister's TikTok has gone viral, Piper announced, barging into my office the next morning, but not in the way she wanted. I pulled up the video. Hallie sat in what looked like her expensive apartment, carefully crafted to look casual in designer loungewear. I've been the victim of a targeted campaign. She sniffled into the camera. Someone is trying to destroy everything I've built. The comments scrolled rapidly. Built on lies, maybe. Didn't you steal your sister's man, though? My donation better not have gone to your Gucci bags. 3 million views, Piper whistled. People love watching privilege implode. My office phone rang. Jesus Anderson's name flashed on the caller ID. Daisy speaking, I answered, putting it on the speaker. We need to discuss damage control. His usual charisma had given way to barely contained panic. The board is requesting all grant documentation from the past 3 years. That sounds like something to discuss with Hallie. Your sister is indisposed. He cleared his throat. Given your firm's previous involvement, I'm afraid I can't help. I cut him off. Professional ethics. I'm sure you understand. After hanging up, I checked my emails. The University Ethics Committee had moved with surprising speed. Following our investigation, we are formally reviewing Miss Fox's degree status. Daisy? Piper's voice was soft. Brian's outside. I looked through my office glass walls. There he stood in his expensive suit, looking less polished than usual. Security hovered nearby. Should I call them to remove him? No. I stood up. Let him in. Brian entered, closing the door behind him. You need to stop this. Stop what? Don't play dumb. It doesn't suit you. He ran a hand through his hair. The investigation at my firm, Hallie's job, the university. It's all you, isn't it? Sounds like karma to me. Damn it, Daisy. He stepped closer. I know you're hurt. Hurt? I laughed. You think this is about being hurt? Then what is it about? Consequences. I met his eyes. You and Hallie thought you could just rewrite the story. Make me the cold, career obsessed ex while you found true love. But you forgot something. What's that? I keep receipts. His face paled. The trading information I mentioned? At the Christmas party last year, when you were drunk and bragging about tipping off your friends? I smiled. I remember everything, Brian. You'll destroy your own sister's career? No, she did that herself. I'm just making sure everyone sees the truth. He moved toward my desk, but Piper stepped between us. I think you should leave. This isn't over, he warned. Actually, it is. I turned back to my computer. Your firm's compliance officer should be calling any minute. After he left, Piper checked her phone. Hallie's posted again, a long note about being targeted by jealous people who can't handle others' success. My phone buzzed with a text from Dad. Please, sweetheart. Your mother hasn't slept in days. Good, I muttered. Are you sure you want to take this all the way? Piper asked. Before I could answer, my email pinged. It was from Natalia. Following our investigation, we regret to inform you that significant discrepancies have been found. I forwarded it to Piper. They're firing her. Jesus. She read quickly. They're going public with it? They have to. Donor transparency. My phone lit up with another notification. Hallie had tagged me in a post. To my own sister, I know this is you. I hope you're happy now that you've destroyed everything. The comments exploded. Wait, this is her sister? The one whose fiancé she stole? Rich people drama is wild. I turned off my phone and looked at Piper. Remember when Mom made me give up my dance recital solo for Hallie? Said it would crush her if she didn't get the lead? Piper nodded. I've been giving up pieces of myself for years, but not anymore. I opened my laptop. They wanted a villain in their story? Fine, I'll give them one. What's next? I pulled up the final set of documents I'd been saving. Now we show them what happens when the family fixer decides to break things instead. The Zoom meeting window filled with familiar faces, each one carefully arranged in their digital boxes like a dysfunctional Brady Bunch opening sequence. Jesus Anderson sat in the center, trying to maintain his professional composure despite the chaos unfolding. We're here to mediate, he began, and find a path forward. Path forward? Hallie's voice cracked. Her perfectly curated image had cracked too. No makeup, messy hair, red eyes. My career is ruined. My reputation. Your reputation? I cut in, keeping my voice level. The one built on fraudulent credentials and misappropriated funds? Daisy? Mom snapped from her window. How dare you? How dare I? How dare you? I held up a stack of papers to the camera. Should we discuss the scholarship fraud, the grant misallocation, or maybe we should talk about when exactly Hallie and Brian started their relationship? Brian's window suddenly went active. This is ridiculous. You're just bitter. Meeting attendee anonymous has joined, the automated voice announced. A black screen with a simple P appeared. Who is this? Jesus demanded. This is a private meeting. The chat box lit up. Screenshots began appearing. Text messages between Hallie and Brian from 8 months ago while he and I were still engaged. Hallie, she's working late again. Come over? Brian, on my way. She'll never know. More screenshots followed. Dates, times, location tags. Stop! Hallie screamed. Those are private. Like my engagement was private? I asked quietly. Dad's window, silent until now, came to life. We thought we thought it would be easier if you didn't know. Easier? I laughed. For whom? For everyone, Mom interjected. You were always so focused on your career anyway. We didn't want to upset you when you were finally making partner. The chat box pinged again. This time, it was bank statements showing suspicious transfers from the nonprofit's accounts to Hallie's personal shopping sprees. Jesus Anderson cleared his throat. Given these new allegations, they're not allegations, I interrupted. They're facts. Facts that your board now has, along with the SEC, the University Ethics Committee, and several major donors. You've destroyed everything, Hallie sobbed. My job, my reputation. I gave you loans, I said quietly, not licensed to betray me. Brian's window suddenly showed chaos. He was moving, the background blurring. There are reporters outside my building. How did they? Breaking news. Investment firm under investigation. Top banker implicated in nonprofit scandal. I read from my phone. Looks like the story's gone national. Daisy, Dad pleaded, we can fix this. As a family. Family? I held up my phone, showing Hallie's Christmas photos. You mean the family that celebrated without me while my sister flaunted my engagement ring? The anonymous participant dropped one final screenshot in the chat, an email chain showing Mom and Dad discussing how to keep Brian and Hallie's relationship quiet until Daisy's too busy to notice. Mom's face crumpled. We were trying to protect you. No, I corrected her. You were protecting Hallie, like always. Hallie's sobs had turned to hiccups. I loved him. I still love him. And I loved my family, I replied. Funny how neither of those things mattered. Brian's window showed him pushing through reporters. This is harassment. No comment. Jesus Anderson looked shell shocked. Given these revelations, I'll need to inform the board immediately. Already done, I said. Check your email. One by one, the windows began closing. Mom was crying. Dad looked defeated. Hallie had collapsed into unintelligible sobs. Brian's window cut out mid shout at a reporter. Finally, only Jesus remained. You planned this all along, didn't you? No, I said truthfully. They planned it. Every betrayal, every lie, every moment they thought I was too busy to notice. I just showed everyone the truth. After the meeting ended, my phone buzzed with a text from Piper. You okay? Before I could respond, a letter appeared in my inbox. From Hallie, not an email, but a scanned, handwritten note. Are you proud now? I looked out my office window at the New York skyline, at the world continuing to turn despite my family's implosion. Was I proud? No, but I was free. Free from being the fixer, the safety net, the silent supporter of other people's happiness at the cost of my own. I typed back 3 words. Truth hurts, sis. Then I turned off my phone and watched the sunset, knowing that somewhere in the city my family was finally facing the consequences of their choices. And for once, I wasn't there to catch them when they fell. Table for two? The hostess at Maria smiled professionally, not recognizing me as the sister from the scandal splashed across New York's social pages. Yes, by the window, please. I followed her, Piper close behind. We settled into our usual Sunday brunch spot, the same table where Brian had first introduced me to Hallie years ago. The irony wasn't lost on me. Have you read it? Piper pulled up the Business Insider article on her phone. From Golden Child to Cautionary Tale, How Nonprofit Darling's Empire Crumbled, I read aloud. They didn't hold back. The comments are brutal. My phone buzzed. Another letter had arrived at the office. They came daily now, apologies, explanations, justifications. Mom's handwriting, Dad's letterhead, Brian's desperate scrawls. I'd stopped opening them. Did you hear about Brian's firm? Piper asked as our mimosas arrived. Resigned before they could fire him. Smart move. I sipped my drink. Though I doubt many investment banks are looking to hire someone under SEC investigation. And Hallie? According to Instagram, she's taking time to heal at some wellness retreat in Arizona. I pulled up her latest post, all earth tones and vague spirituality, a far cry from her previous designer lifestyle. Mom's paying, of course. Speaking of mom, still leaving voicemails about family healing and second chances. I scrolled through the missed calls. Dad sends daily emails about finding our way back to each other. Do you miss them? Piper asked quietly. Before I could answer, a familiar voice cut through the restaurant chatter. Daisy? We looked up. Jesus Anderson stood there, looking uncomfortable in casual clothes. Mind if I join you for a moment? I gestured to an empty chair. He sat, fidgeting with his water glass. The board wanted me to thank you, he said finally. The anonymous tip. It saved us from a much bigger scandal. Just doing my civic duty. Right. He cleared his throat. We're restructuring the entire grants program. New oversight, better verification. Your sister's creative accounting. It opened our eyes. Glad something good came of it. He stood to leave, then paused. For what it's worth, she did talk about you. All the time. How you were her hero, her protector. I don't think she ever expected you to stop being that. After he left, Piper raised an eyebrow. Hero and protector? More like convenient safety net. I picked up my fork, stabbing at my eggs Benedict. Pass the hot sauce? My phone lit up with a news alert. University rescinds degree following ethics investigation. There goes her backup career plan, Piper murmured. There goes mom's favorite story about her brilliant younger daughter. I put my phone away. No more charity galas. No more social media influence. No more trading on the family name. And no more fixing their messes. No more fixing. I looked around the restaurant, at all the tables filled with families sharing Sunday brunch. You know what's strange? I keep waiting to feel guilty. To have that urge to call mom, to help Hallie rebuild, to make everything okay again. But you don't? No? I smiled. I feel light. The waiter arrived with our food. As he set down the plates, I noticed a young woman at a nearby table showing her friend something on her phone, both of them glancing my way. You're becoming quite the legend, Piper noted, the whistleblower sister who took down her own family's house of cards. Not the whole family. I raised my mimosa, just the rot inside it. My phone buzzed one final time, a text from an unknown number. I hope you're happy now that you've destroyed us all. H. I showed it to Piper, then blocked the number. Are you? She asked. Happy? I looked out the window at the Sunday morning crowd, at couples and families and friends all moving through their lives, carrying their own secrets and lies and betrayals. I'm free, I said finally. They finally understand who I am. Not the workhorse, not the peacemaker, not the absence. What are you then? I picked up my fork, ready to enjoy my brunch without a single family obligations weighing me down. I'm the consequence, I said, and took the first bite of my new unfettered life.